Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Wednesday, February 6, 2019. We're going to share an update on the 1954 Penn Yan Captivator Aristocrat's transom replacement today. Joe has been working on a variety of solutions, and Joe, why don't I just hand it over to you and you talk to us about.
So this transom that we had was actually cracked in quite a few places, so we were going to just replace the entire thing. We did find some really nice mahogany to replace it with. Unfortunately, the transom that was there before actually had a spline in it, and I personally don't really care for them all that much. Yeah, you do have two anchor points, but you don't have as much surface area for glue or an epoxy. So right now I'm just setting up to figure out how we're going to conjoin them together, because we don't have planks wide enough for the transom. So,
well, we actually really don't want them either, do we? Because they move.
And not only that, it's, we get more anchor points with three of them. So I'm just going to do a simple tongue and groove. These ones are going to be, the transom is roughly 3/4 of an inch wide. So I mocked up these two pieces here, and I'm working on the table saw on datoing them out. So I'm going to make them 1/4 inch by 5/16. And the reason why I like the tongue and groove more is you have way more surface area for glue and epoxy, and they just, to me, it's a better bond. So right now I got this one just about perfect. I just have a few more details I got to do to make it a little bit tighter. But when you have a tongue and groove, you have three basic areas for glue on the tongue side. You have this side here, and then you have the tongue itself to adhere. And I like it the same mirror image here. You have this joint here you're going to get glue on, this joint, that joint, and your main joint where your tongue slides in. And once we get the glue in there, we'll get that clamped down nice and flat and straight. And it really doesn't leave a whole lot of room for wiggles. And with this one's getting an outboard motor on the back of the transom, so I want something that's going to hold up to it. And for me, the tongue groove will definitely get that for us.
What will you be using for glue?
That will be, I believe that's the Tight Bond 3. That's a marine glue. It holds up really well with water. And we'll have that clamped up for a good probably 24 to 48 hours. And then we'll be able to shape the transom from there, because it does have quite a few angle cuts on it.
Well, why don't I move the camera and you can give us a shot of what you've been doing and finding in the transom hole.
Absolutely.
So I've been working on a new arrival all day today and yesterday afternoon, so I haven't really seen what Joe and RJ have been doing back here.
So what we did is we had the main bottom there of the transom taken out already, and we noticed that there's 3 cracks along the top part of the transom. So we discovered that the frames here on the sides that you're going to be putting your transom to had quite a bit of extensive rot in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut them out and replace them with new oak frames for it. And then it will be good as new after we get the new transom cut out and installed.
And the interior frame members that rotted so badly,
yes,
that you'll replace and install after you've got the transom in place?
These are all going to be replaced, all the mid frames, and a lot of the supports on it too. Luckily these frames we're going to be able to save. There's not very much rot on those at all. Actually, there isn't any at all. So we'll be able to sand them down and refinish them. This one here, we're going to have to remake too, because it looked like it had 3 Dutchmans in it. And it's definitely not going to hold up again, so we're just going to fabricate a brand new one and get that put in as well as soon as the transom's in.
Well, there we are on February 6, 2019. The Penn Yan Captivator Aristocrat will soon have a new transom framing, a new bottom bow, and from there we can begin to work on the bottom itself. The really good news on the bottom is that, if you remember from one of the earlier videos, we were concerned, having sighted open seams between the keel and the garboard, that water and moisture could have penetrated beneath the keel into and the landing here on the garboard. And we were concerned that we were going to see major rot right in here. Well, happily we found none. It really is not rotted. The problem though is that since this was not sealed in any way on the outer side of the keel where the keel meets the garboard, leaving all of this open is a recipe for water flooding in, rot starting at some point. So we will treat this much the same way we treat the final planking installation on a true 5200 bottom. This seam all the way up will be filled right to the top with 5200. We will create a bed of 5200 the entire length, set the keel into that, fasten it from the inside as it is fastened. There'll be quite a bit of squeeze out of 5200, but we'll clean that in precisely the same way that we clean the seams on a true 5200 bottom, where the planks are screwed down and we get a fair amount of squeeze out. Now, why do we use 5200 here and would never use it there? Because here everything's being squashed together. We're creating a monolith. Here, feed 5200 into this seam. Well, you remember me having to pull it out and dig it out and grind it out earlier on this boat. Paying 5200 into here just creates a nightmare, because once it's cured, it can no longer compress. So should these two boards become wet and expand, since the 5200 cannot compress and take up some of that expansion, you run the risk, especially in a boat that has cedar planking on the bottom, the planks just get compressed, they break, they bow and buckle. So our not so happy job is to fill all of these seams with Interlux seam compound for below waterline applications. And once we do that, the seam compound will fill the voids, but it never cures hard. So when we prime over it, we end up with a nicely caulked set of seams and a boat that will stay quite dry, whose bilge will stay quite dry. So that's where we are today, and we'll be back to you very soon with another update on the 1954 Penn Yan Aristocrat Captivator. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.